Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Hotted, and today I'll be showing you guys how the talent tree system for a PvP Balance Druid in World of Trainer should look like. If you'd like to see more tutorials like these, make sure to subscribe to the HyperX channel and like this video up. Let's get started with the first row of talents. The choices that come to mind are either Displacer Beast or Wild Charge. Wild Charge, although it's a very useful talent, it's also very situational. The only maps where you can really use it is effectively on 2-level maps such as Blades Arena to jump from one level to the other. Displacer Beast is in my opinion the best talent, since it provides a blink to escape from melee and an additional sprint that is really useful once you shift out of movement impairment effect. The next tier of talents gives us the ability to choose what type of healing aid we can get. We can choose between getting a passive heal every 5 seconds to the most injured target, or a very powerful single target healing spell over time. Most of the time I will go with Cenarian Ward, just because of the burst healing that it provides outweighs the small periodic healing that Ysera's Gift provides. However, Ysera's Gift becomes more powerful when you fight a team that consists of damage over time spells such as Moonkin Warlock teams or just dot cleaves in general. The next row is pretty interesting in World of Trainer because there really isn't a bad choice here. Fairy Swarm is a spammable movement impairing effect. Mass Entanglement is an AoE route that can greatly help when dealing with melee, and Typhoon can be used as a knockoff or to interrupt a spell that is being casted. All these talents are used for different situations, so honestly just change whenever one seems more appealing than the other. For example, if you're fighting a melee cleave, Entangling Roots or Mass Entanglement seems a better option than the other ones. And if you're fighting a Wizard Cleave, maybe Fairy Swarm will be a better choice. But like I said, it's all up to a personal opinion, so choose as desired. The level 60 row of talents is pretty much the damage boost talent section where you can choose what kind of extra damage you would like. You can choose from Soul of the Forest, Incarnation Chosen of the Elune, and Force of Nature. Soul of the Forest, pretty much what it does is that it empowers your lunar and solar empowerments by 15%. It's pretty good, but not as good as the other two in my opinion. Incarnation Chosen of the Elune, pretty much you become an empowered version of the Moonkin, and you get additional 15% damage that lasts 30 seconds. Obviously all these spells are affected by this form, which makes it, in my opinion, a little bit better than Soul of the Forest. And last but not least, we have Force of Nature. Force of Nature, what it does pretty much allows you to summon 3 Trends. You have 3 charges and you can summon with each charge a trend. Each trend can instantly root somebody and also cast wraths that obviously deal damage. The best thing about this talent though is obviously the instant root utility, where you can use to instantly root beam a target, and when that affects CC a healer for example for 10 seconds. So it just depends on what setup you are using with. For example, if you're playing with a mage, you definitely don't want to use Force of Nature because that means that you will DR his Novas, and DRing Novas of mages right now is really bad. Like I said, it's all up to personal preference, but in my opinion, Incarnation is the one that's dealing the most damage and it's the most effective. I'm doing monster damage with this talent tree or with this talent spec, and unless I'm fighting a melee heavy team, I don't think I'm gonna change it. The level 90 row of spells is a little bit controversial because a lot of people think that Heart of the Wild is really good as a Moonkin. However, due to recent nerfs, Nature's Vigil seems more convincing due to the ability to do a lot of AoE damage while it's up, and therefore being able to keep your team up with it. Heart of the Wild can really be powerful when you aren't being targeted, since you could chain cast Healing Touch and be most likely able to keep your teammates alive. And now we come to the last row, the level 100 talents. The only choices here really are Euphoria and Stellar Flare. I was a big advocate of Stellar Flare in the early stages of the beta. However, after trying Euphoria, I quickly decided to stick with it until more balance changes happen. With Euphoria, it's really easy to apply both dots over and over, so the spell on enemies isn't really an issue. Also, you get empowered dots 50% faster since your clip bars shift around more often, so it makes your damage over time a lot stronger. The downside of Stellar Flare is that it's a casted dot, and it's not really powerful. If changes happen to the spell to make it more powerful or do more damage, it would be a different story, but as of now, that's what I think about this robe. I hope this video helped you guys understand Balance Druids, or Moonkins, however you want to call it, a little bit more, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and I'll do my best to answer them.